Let's go. I just done the entire morning training. Here's a picture. Just woke up, got to my prayers and got some coffee and was straight here. Putting the work in, fighting against ourselves. That's the most beautiful thing. One of the most beautiful things that we can do as men is to fight against ourselves through physical training, physical efforts, discipline, building that self-control, building that mindset, that strong mindset, man, to continually transform and to become the men that God desires for us to be. But yeah, man, that was a tough workout. One of the most toughest morning workouts I've probably put on myself. And it genuinely feels amazing finishing it. It genuinely felt amazing doing it at the same time, because I just decided to go through it. You know, I had the conflicting thought in my mind when I woke up a bit late today. I woke up at flipping 10 a.m, which is mega late for me. And I was in the battlefield in my mind, thinking whether I should go and do this or I should leave it for the afternoon or for the evening, to procrastinate and leave it for later on because of the difficulty and intensity of this training. And that made me think that it's not going to make it easier if you don't do it now. It's not going to make it easier if you don't go through it. It's just not going to make it easier. It's going to make it even more difficult. And it's going to require way more of you to go and do the thing. If you set yourself to train, if you set yourself a task to do, a task that is required of you to reach the goal that you set for yourself, to pursue your purpose, and then you leave it for later on, that means you are not prioritizing the thing. That means you don't truly want it. If you have the goal of getting yourself into the best shape, getting shredded, actually leveling up yourself as a fighter, leveling up yourself as a man that God created you to be, physically, mentally, athletically, and you set yourself these goals and you don't go and do the thing that is required of you, then that goal that you want isn't going to be given to you. It is only rewarded to the people who are willing to suffer, who are willing to go through that suffering, who are willing to do the things that they set themselves to do, even when they don't feel like it, even when the circumstances aren't right, even when they don't have the drive or the motivation to keep going. They will still go and do it, because they know that every single time they take that action on time and they do it when they promise themselves, they will feel the fulfillment, the confidence, and they know that it's bringing them a step closer to the man that they want to become, I came to realize that there is so much more joy if you just go for it. Even when you feel anxious, even when you feel like you don't want to do it, just go through it. It's better just to go through it, to put yourself in the environment, whether that's the gym, the boxing gym, or wherever, or your study desk if you have to study, or your laptop if you have to go and do something, or work if you got to go work, anything. Just go put yourself in that environment and go get it done. Go do the thing, because we live in our minds more than we live in actual reality. Our emotions create this false, elusive state. They create this false, elusive state where it's not even real, and we genuinely have faith in that state. We have faith in that state. But what about the good state? The state where you feel joyful, the state where you're like battling against yourself, where you are genuinely transforming and growing stronger. What about that state? That state is in reality when you go and do the things, when you just don't think about it too much and you put yourself there to do it. Just like yesterday, I was at I went boxing with a couple of my mates, and I was in the car. I was just like, I felt a bit of anxiety. I felt a bit of like feeling I don't want to go and do it. You know, I was thinking about the whole hour and a half of just pure suffering training. Like, this is an amateur boxing gym, and it's pure suffering and pure just endurance and everything that you can imagine into 1 hour and a half. You don't get crazy breaks or rests. You do get your rest, but they're not crazy. It's to forge you into a fighter. It's to forge you into actually being a fighter, into actually persevering in that ring when you go and have a match. And it also doesn't just apply for your ring. It applies to life, to actually persevering the times where it's difficult, to persevering the times where you know you got to go and do stuff even if you don't feel like it. And I had that feeling in the car. I was like, nah, man, I'd rather go home, like, because it was just a whole day of work. I was doing demolition, and I was like physically just done out. I just wanted to stay home and not do anything. I'd rather just turn off my phone and everything, just chill, just relax, eat what I want, and just take the time off. But I thought to myself, isn't it better just to go through it, get it done, and then have my rest, then have my meal, then enjoy the meal, the rest that I get, the hot shower that I get. There's so much more gratitude within those little things. If I go and get the difficult thing done, even if I don't feel like it, even if I'm feeling that anxiety in the moment. And it completely shifted my perspective. It's better just to go through it and do the thing without thinking about anything else, without thinking about the consequence of it. It's good to go and do the righteous thing, the good thing, the thing that tests you, the thing that forges you, because it's going to build you. It's going to give you more. There's so much joy within doing that thing where it's difficult. There's so much joy when you actually take the first step, because it's before the first step that we feel this anxiety. We feel this feeling of not wanting to do it. We feel like giving up. We feel like it's just been too long. We feel like we don't see the results. But when you just take the first step towards the action, you will build up that momentum and the desire to do the thing. It's the same as today morning. Like, I didn't want to go and do this 15-minute interval, which just completely put me in like, I'm just literally sweating. I didn't want to go and do it. So I set myself 2 different steps before getting into it. I first set myself a stretching and some little warm-up, and then I did 3 rounds of 3-minute shadow boxing, because it put me in the right state. It put me in that state of momentum. My blood started flowing. I started to feel the environment. I started to forget about all the different thoughts, all the other illusions, and I was genuinely in reality doing something. I was being present. And as soon as I was in that state, I looked at the next thing which I was meant to do, which is the main thing of today, which is that run. And I thought, okay, let's get onto the treadmill and let's go for it. It was tough when I was doing it, but there was joy for it, because that momentum was already built up from those little actions that I took before. There's always a way to get in and do the action that is required of you. There's always a way to get in and do it. You just have to break these thoughts, these emotions of not doing it, through small steps, through small actions, which build up that momentum, That's why you got, like, if you go to a boxing gym, you got warm-ups. They're for a reason. They're to put you in the state. They're to get your blood flowing. They are there to get you ready for the battle. You don't just go there and think, okay, straight into the battle. If you genuinely can't fathom it in your mind, you build yourself up to it and then you go and fight. That is the same with training. That is the same with getting up early in the morning and doing your morning routine. That is the same with staying disciplined. You first take small steps towards the main action and then you go and do it. I can give other flipping examples. Look at a boxing fight. There's undercards. There's all these little things just before it. There's the walkout. No one just gets into the rings and fights straight away. You've got to build it up for the main thing. And when you have this strategy, everything becomes actually easy to do. Easy to go and do, sorry. Everything becomes easy to go and do. It doesn't become effortless to do the thing, but to go and do the thing, it becomes quite easy because you build up the momentum to it. And when you tell yourself, you know what, as soon as I take those small little steps towards that main action, I will just go through it. I will just accelerate through it. I will just go and accelerate through it and I'll get to my destination. Think about going to a destination. You know, you first get into the car, you set your car up, you set the navigation up, you set where you want to go, you see what time it is, you see if you've got you see if you got to get some fuel. You do all these little things before getting onto the journey. And as soon as you are on the journey, you keep going. When you're like 10 miles away and there's circumstances that occur, maybe traffic, maybe just the weather's bad, or you don't even feel like going to that destination, it's not going to be hard to go back because it's only like 10 miles away. Let's think about it. It's not going to be hard to go back from where you started because it's not that far away. It's not difficult to go and do something for a couple minutes and then think, I'm going to stop. Because you're not within that fire yet. You're building up to it, but you're not within that fire yet. But when you tell yourself, I'll just go through it until I'm in that state where I'm not going to turn back because it's too far away, You will get the thing done that you promised yourself. You will get it done. And in the case of the journey, if you're like 300 miles away from where you started, and you see all these circumstances, this weather, and everything's happening, and you're thinking about going back, you're not going to go back because it's way too far. It's way too far. So what you do at that point is you just continue traveling to your destination until you get there. And in this case, it's the same with getting to your training, getting to your workout, or to the actions that you set for yourself. When you're like further into doing it, you're not going to turn back because it's too far away. There's no point. You'd rather actually finish the thing that you're doing. And this applies the same for your journey, whether that's to get yourself into the best shape possible, whether that's to get shredded, whether that's to lead yourself up to your first boxing match, or you've got a certain purpose. When you're much more further into the journey, let's say like you're in the middle of the journey and you're facing all these circumstances, it's not going to matter to you because you've already adapted yourself to the level of discipline, the struggle, and you're not going to turn back because it's too far away from where you began. But if you just began your journey and you already think about turning back, that's going to be completely easy. Just persevere the beginning. And then when you get into the middle, it's not going to be that difficult to get to the end because there's already that destination that you're getting closer to, Focus on getting to the middle at least. Focus on doing the thing and getting just to the middle point, because once you get to the middle point, that is where you just don't give up. That is where you've got the intense momentum. The intense momentum. That if you break that momentum, you're done. You're going all the way down. So you're not going to break it because you're not going to compromise that momentum that you've built up for your stupid desires, for your comforts. It's the same with being in the journey with your diet, with your nutrition, getting into your best shape. If you're in the middle of the journey and you've already dropped like, let's say 20 pounds, 15 pounds, and you've got another 10 pounds to go, you're not going to tell yourself, yo, I'm going to have junk food and all this stuff, because it will just make you feel absolutely depressed. If you got back to the start and you gained all that 15 pounds back, you would be like, this was a literal waste of time. You would be in total depression. And that's the things that I faced for many years, like literally getting into great shape and just continually getting to the point that I wanted to. I was literally in the middle. I was near the end to literally getting shredded, to building that fighter level athleticism, that body, where I just told myself, you know what, I'll have a bit of comfort. I'll have a little junk food because I've done enough work. Thinking to myself, I've done enough work and I'm near to the end, so I might as well just give myself a little break. But as soon as I did, I literally fell right back down, gained back all the kilograms, and I had to fight again. I had to fight myself out of that beginning and get back to the middle point. And it took even more effort. It took even more discipline. The more times that you give up, the harder it's going to get. The more times that you give up, the harder it's going to get. The more time that you leave the thing that you're meant to do for later on, the more difficult it gets, the more difficult it just gets. And there's no point. There's no point in procrastinating. It doesn't even provide the benefit. You'd rather just go through the thing now. Go through it now. Go through it now, because once you're in that middle point, you'll forget about my phone flipping battery. But all those thoughts of anxiety, all those emotions of being unmotivated, they disappear, they dissipate, they're gone. They completely evaporate because of the action. The action kills. It literally kills and absolutely demolishes the unmotivation, the discouragements. It completely destroys it, kills it. Action is literally the weapon. Action is your weapon. The more that you use action, the more that you fire action, the more that you fire it, the closer you get to where you want to go. Firing the action is like you're firing the action every single time to hit the target every single day. But the more that you leave yourself to do it later on, the difficult it's gonna get, the more difficult it gets. Do it now. Do the thing that you promise yourself now, because you will build up that momentum now. Once you build up the momentum, everything else just, it goes. All the thoughts of I don't feel like doing it, all the thoughts of when am I going to get there, I'm not seeing results, it goes. There were days where I just like woke up and I checked the weight, and it's been 2 weeks which putting in the work and my weight hasn't moved. It hasn't moved. But I was just like, blessed, this is great. It's just a battle. It's just a battle. Like, are you going to give up in the battle? And leave yourself to get completely demolished by the enemy? Or are you genuinely going to keep fighting and take victory? And the more that I did that every single day, I looked at my data, what I'm eating, what things I was doing wrong. I was figuring out what actions to take in order to get to the place where I want to go, what actions I shouldn't take. I started to drop weight and I started to win the battles against myself, because the only battle that you're facing is against yourself. The only battle that you are facing is against yourself. When you look at the weight, when you look at your position, no one is telling you anything. Absolutely no one is telling you anything. It's all just you telling yourself that maybe you're not made for it. Maybe you should give up. Maybe you should just stay comfortable. Maybe you should find this different path of comfort. Maybe you should do something else because this is too hard. But you're telling yourself that. No one is actually telling you that nothing is happening in reality. So when you take yourself out of your own elusive words and thoughts, and you keep on taking action, and you look at the truth of what you're doing wrong, and you fix that, you're going to take victory. You're going to take victory. It's as simple as that. The more that we use our common sense, the more that we get closer to what we want to do, to what we want to achieve, to who we want to become. The more we get closer to that truth, the more that we seek after truth, after the truth. And all praise be to the Lord for this day. All praise be to the Lord for this day that you are given. Because today is another day that you are given to fight against yourself, to build yourself into the strongest man that God has desired for you to become. To build yourself to the fighter level, physically, mentally, athletically. Just take all opportunity that you are given, every single hour that you are given, to build yourself up to the man that you desire to become, the man that God desires for you to be. Because that man has self-control, leads and serves other people, and lives his life in complete joy, not having the cares of the worldly things and the material things and everything else. Because when you fight against yourself and you go through struggle, like I said, the elusive thoughts, the comparisons, and everything in your mind completely dissipates. It's eliminated. It's eliminated. Because more time we have these thoughts when we are too comfortable. The comfortable state is a dangerous zone. It's a dangerous zone. Because the emotions within that state completely blind us. They promise that temporary fulfillment for the moment, which then leaves us in regret afterwards. It leaves us in regret. Think about the days where you gave up. Think about the days where you gave into the junk food. You gave into your comforts. How would it have been if you didn't do that? If you genuinely stayed on track? Would you feel like happy about those days? Would you feel fulfilled about those days now? I guarantee you would. When I think back on the days where I wanted to give up or it was too difficult and I actually went and done the thing, I still feel the fulfillment from that day today. It still gives me the motivation today. That's how powerful it is. That day isn't just gone in vanity. The day that you genuinely do the thing when you didn't feel like it and you still push through even when it was difficult, even when the circumstances were not right, that day stays with you forever. It stays with you forever. It's your motivation. It's your motivation for the other days that you are given to keep going and fighting this battle every single day. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and take this day in joy. Go do the things that you set yourself to do. There is joy ahead for the man that is willing to walk the path of suffering, because there is a light ahead. There is a light ahead when we walk through the path of suffering, whether that's difficult, whether that's physical discipline, whether that's pursuing a journey to transform ourselves, whether that's pursuing a purpose like that's going to build something. There's a light ahead. There is a light ahead. And keep that light in your heart and trust the Lord, because He is the light to everything. Have faith, have courage. Today's another day given. Today's another day given. Go and do the thing that you set yourself. Go and do it as soon as you can, because the faster that you do the thing, the earlier that you do the thing, the more joyful you're actually going to feel and the more fulfillment you're going to have. When I talk about the days that give me the motivation, even today, even if you do the thing that you promise yourself early in the morning, later on in the evening, in the afternoon, you will still have that fulfillment and the motivation and the drive because of the thing that you did earlier. Because of the fact that you genuinely went and done the thing that you set yourself. It gives you the more motivation, it gives you more fulfillment. Go and do the thing. Just go through it. Go through it. Get to the middle point and then get to the end. Go for it. Do not turn back. Don't try to reach back to your old identity, your old habits. Just keep yourself away from that. It's the danger zone. The danger zone is not your circumstances. The danger zone is not your demotivation, your discouragement. That is the complete fallacy. That is the deception. That is the deception. The danger zone is turning back to what you did before, to what you were doing before that was completely destroying you, that was keeping you in the same place. That is the danger zone. The comfortable zone is the danger zone. How crazy is that? When we think about the comfortable zone, it gives you this thought of just a moment of pleasure, of complete comfort. But when we're in the thoughts of the discouragements, the demotivation, it's like it's trying to turn us back from walking the path of suffering to build ourselves into the strongest men that we can be. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Evil tries to destroy you through lying to you through your emotions. Through lying to you through your emotions. And then it tries to deceive you into thinking that the good thing to do is go back to your old habits, go back to your old ways, because that is what you should continue doing, because it makes you feel happy and good for the moment. That is the complete deception. Take action, trust in the Lord, and everything will turn out to be right. Seek the truth in your journey and keep taking action. Go through it. When you go through it, you will feel the joy. There's a light ahead, and you don't have the incentive to turn back when you're in the middle of the journey, knowing that you continue building yourself. You're in the state of fire, transforming yourself into the fighter that you desire to become. Man, what a blessed day that we are given. I hope you took some value from this. I'm just giving this to you straight from my heart after this morning thing that I've done, that I've set myself this training, which completely tested me, which completely questioned me whether I want to do it or I want to give up, especially when I was in the last couple minutes. I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to turn back. I'm not going to stop, because I'm already near the end. Why would I stop here? Why would I stop here if I went through the 12, 13 minutes of complete just pain and suffering? I can do the last 2 minutes and push through the last 2 minutes with the most effort that I can. That's the same with your journey that you're pursuing right now, to build yourself up, to change yourself, to transform yourself, whether that's physically, mentally, athletically, whatever area in your life. Man, let's get after it. Let's just get after it, bruv. Today's another blessed day given. Take all opportunity and take every second that you are given by God. Take every second that you are given by God in gratitude. Let's go, man. Thank you for watching. My Instagram's in the bio. I keep on dropping stories every day, just my nutrition every day and what I do to continue to build my physique, and I'll show you the habits of the day that continue to build me. I have a story which I went from a completely overweight kid with lack of confidence, and I've managed to pursue my first boxing fight, get into great shape, and just pursuing physical discipline every single day and motivating other people. If you want to drop me a follow. If you have any questions regarding fitness, physique, or anything like that, drop me a message. I always respond. Yeah, man, it's a fight against yourself. Let's get after it. Stay blessed.